Imagine that you're standing here. In front of you is a vast expanse of yellow wheat field. Above you, the beautiful blue sky specked with crows. The darkness of the night is spilling over and there is no one else around. Tell me, what would you feel if you were standing in this field? You must have thought of loneliness, and you wouldn't be wrong. This painting creates a sense of loneliness in the viewer's mind, but at the same time, a sense of comfort and calmness. The vast area of endless yellows and blues, the wind howling, and the crows cawing above, all of this makes you want to introspect. Think about life and think deeply about yourself. Wheatfield with Crows is Van Gogh's last painting. Now, when I say the last painting, it does not mean that he died right after creating this painting. In fact, he made 3 more paintings: Over Town Hall, Daubigny's Garden, and Tree Roots. Tree Roots was the last painting he ever made before shooting himself and dying from the fatal gunshot wound. The reason why I call this painting his last is that right after painting this painting, his soul died. In this painting, you see what he saw for the last time, what he felt for the last time. And in this painting, we also get his last message to the world. How? Let's read the canvas. Van Gogh loved the yellows and blues in nature. Just look at his most famous works, such as The Starry Night, Cafe Terrace at Night, Sunflowers, Starry Night over the Rhone, The Yellow House. The list can go on and on. There is even a research paper on his apparent obsession with the color yellow. The reason why he preferred yellow was because he considered the mix of yellow and blue to be soothing and comforting. And what else would an anxious artist want other than painting something comforting? But what does that have to do with the meaning of this painting? The thing is, we don't need to connect the dots to find the meaning behind the canvas. We don't have to speculate or assume or overanalyze the painting, because Van Gogh told his brother exactly why he painted this painting and what he wanted to convey through it. Van Gogh frequently communicated with his brother, and thanks to the letters that he sent him, we get to know what was going on in the artist's mind. There, once again here, I set to work again. The brush, however, almost falling from my hands, and knowing clearly what I wanted, I've painted another 3 large canvases since then. They're immense stretches of wheat fields under turbulent skies, and I made a point of trying to express sadness and extreme loneliness. You'll see this soon, I hope, for I hope to bring them to you in Paris as soon as possible, since I'd almost believe that these canvases will tell you what I can't say in words, what I considered healthy and fortifying about the countryside. You may notice that Van Gogh is talking about expressing 2 completely opposite emotions through these paintings. On one hand, he talks about expressing sadness and extreme loneliness, while on the other, he expresses the healthy and fortifying nature of the countryside. In this letter, Van Gogh was referring to 3 paintings that he made recently. The healthy and fortifying paintings were Daubigny's Garden and Wheatfield under troubled sky, while Wheatfield with Crows expressed his extreme loneliness and sadness. But there was more to it. There was something deeper and way darker. The sense of loneliness and desolation can be felt once you can imagine that you are standing there in this painting. Van Gogh painted this painting on a double canvas to widen the field of view and give us a panoramic view of the place. This enhances the feeling of being alone in a vast space. But here's something deeper. Take a look at the path in the middle. It goes and bends and then goes again, leading to almost eternity. It feels that if you keep walking, you might even walk until you reach the blue sky. Perhaps this is what Van Gogh was trying to show about what he feels when he looks at this field. Eternity. These fields were both the source of comfort and the sign of impending doom. In these fields, he saw the beauty of the countryside and the darkness that was rising in his heart. Van Gogh was a troubled man. After a few days of painting this painting, Van Gogh went to the very wheat field that you can see in this painting and shot himself. He came back to his room where he was living, and people discovered the gunshot wound. On his deathbed, he told his brother, "This sadness will last forever." In one of their letters to his brother, Van Gogh compared himself to a bird in a cage. Maybe he wanted to depict himself as one of these crows, free and flying to eternity. Wheatfield with Crows is a dark and depressing painting. It feels like the dark crows and the darkness in the sky is some sort of a disease on the canvas. The beautiful blue sky and the yellow wheat fields are plagued by darkness. Van Gogh was a painter of his emotions. He saw the beauty around him and he painted it. He must have been very troubled while making this painting. You can see the struggle between sanity and insanity here through the medium of colors. The reason this painting is special is because the other three paintings you do not see his favorite combination of yellow and blue. Wheatfield Under Turbulent Sky also shows a wheat field, but it is not nearly as expressive as this one. While the sky is supposed to be turbulent in that painting, it is in this painting where the sky truly looks menacing. One of the things that is often overlooked in this painting is the storm. Notice how the wheat fields are moving towards the right side of the canvas, along with the crows. Now it is certain that there was no storm when the artist was painting this painting. Of course, how would he be able to paint it? Which means that Van Gogh added the storm later in this painting. A storm is the perfect way to describe the emotions Van Gogh was feeling, and although he could not describe these feelings through words, he certainly did with his painting. Finally, the painting Wheatfield with Crows by Van Gogh represents the artist's mental state at the end of his life. He wanted to show the turmoil that he was going through. He wanted to convey his soul through the crows in the painting, while the blues and yellows represent the comforting days he got while living in the countryside. But the darkening sky and the storm shows the turbulence and turmoil of his life. He was sad, lonely, and depressed. He could not just stand where he was standing and watch the field. He decided to walk the path and move towards eternity. The path that you see in this painting led Van Gogh to his death, and in a bittersweet way, to his freedom.